The final night of regular season action at the Pittsburgh Basketball Club Pro-Am was somewhat low-key, perhaps with the playoffs on the horizon. Many Pitt Panther players not in attendance. In Game 1, center court featuring J.J. Moore and John Johnson was without Kem Birch, but had a little help from Gilbert Brown, and they took on league-leading PBC. Center court, who was short on guys, also got some fill-in help from Deron Johnson, who had a tough game here. This three was his only field goal in this one. The other freshman in this game, though, John Johnson, got back on track after he struggled Monday, gets the dime to J.J. Moore there, and then the pick and roll splits the screen, gets right into the lane for the little fadeaway 15-footer. That is cash. And then the similar play here, the screen again gets right through it. The little foul line jumper, PBC couldn't stop it. Didn't slow down in the second half either. His outside shot's been a little inconsistent throughout the summer, but it was working for him tonight. 4 for 11 from three-point range. All in all, he finished with 20 points, but none sweeter than this one. Gets the board, goes behind his back, and then right to the rim with the finger roll. Turned up the pressure on defense as well as he gets the 5-second call here against Duquesne point guard Mike Talley. And then again on defense, Johnson darts into the lane for the steal. He's going to give it up to J.J. Moore for 2. Real nice game for Johnson. Not as nice a game for Moore, at least by his standards. Only 12 points, but he didn't force the issue as much as he has been. Just 5 for 14 from the floor, and he had 7 rebounds with no turnovers. Really just did a much better job of taking what the defense gave him and letting the game come to him. And of course, never hesitates to show off that world-class athleticism. Speaking of athleticism, Gil Brown chipped in with 19 points for center court, and he's always good for a tomahawk slam like he has here. He certainly did his part to help with the scoring load, but center court just could not get it done on defense as T.J. McConnell torched them for 16 points and was throwing oops to Kendrick Perry left and right. If you haven't figured it out by now, Perry from Youngstown State is a ridiculous athlete. And to top it all off, Jakeem Donaldson just continues to own the paint for PBC. He went for 17 and 15, and his squad continues their dominance, getting the 85-75 win over center court. Perry led all scorers with 22. John Johnson led his team with 20 in the loss. There really weren't a whole lot of fireworks in Game 2, and honestly, there wasn't much to cheer for Panther fans. UPMC and the Layer went at it, but Dante Taylor was missing once again for the Layer, although Gary McGee took his place. And Talib Zana was out of the lineup for UPMC, but Deron Johnson played with his correct team, and J.J. Moore stuck around to play another one as well. Since he was just filling in, he didn't play a whole lot of minutes, and also because his outside shot wasn't really falling except for that 3 there, J.J. Moore didn't make much of an impact in this one. He finished with a modest 7 points on 3 for 10 shooting, but he did get this brilliant-looking slam on the break. There's certainly no questions about his leaping ability. Deron Johnson also struggled mightily from the field once again, just 1 for 10 from beyond the arc, 2 for 16 from the floor. These 2 field goals, his only of the game, but he still managed to get 10 points by going 5 for 6 from the line. Despite the rough nights for Johnson and Moore, Pitt fans might get a kick out of seeing just how much Gary McGee continues to improve and assert his authority in this summer league. Monday night was no fluke. Gary is a man. And he was a beast in this one, scoring 14 on 6 for 8 from the floor and also hauled in 16 rebounds. By virtue of nobody on UPMC having any answer whatsoever for McGee, the Layer grabs the 81-72 victory. Game 3 was also relatively pedestrian as PGT Trucking took on Steel City Tickets. Malcolm Gilbert was in the house for PGT, but Cam Wright was not, and neither was Nasir Robinson as usual. But it was no problem as a rather unsuspecting Panther came up big for PGT. Gilbert didn't have his best game offensively, though he does hit the little bunny there. But he continues to do the little things that help his team win, like grabbing 11 rebounds and blocking 5 or 6 shots. This time he just misses the steal, but then he doesn't miss this one, sending it back. And here he gets beat on defense, goes for the pump fake, but then he says, "Hey, I'm Malcolm Gilbert, get out of my house." "Oh, you forgot? I'm Malcolm Gilbert." Stuffs it again. The big man finished with 9 points, gets 2 here just by running the floor and then laying it in nice and easy off the glass. And then this thunderous dunk off the Reggie Chambers miss, Gilbert over everybody. But Gilbert was a bit upstaged by the other Panther in this game, senior walk-on Nick Rivers, who was lighting it up from the perimeter. Here he is in transition off the assist from Eric Evans, spotting up on the wing, bang, hits the tray ball. This time from the other side, Rivers spotting up in transition again from the corner, knocked down. But he wasn't done, working at the top of the key now, between the legs, the pull-up, splash. Another 3. Rivers finishes with a career best at Greentree, 14 points on 5 for 11 shooting, 4 for 8 from long distance. I think it's safe to say the non-scholarship spot is in good hands with Rivers as he helps propel PGT to an easy 74-60 win over Steel City. This one was a blowout for most of the game. And that wraps up the regular season at the PBC Pro-Am. Victories tonight for PBC, The Lair, and PGT Trucking. The playoffs will begin Monday of next week. The West Virginia team can't make it, so everyone else is in, and we will see which team comes out on top. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Brian Batko for Panther Sports Network.